Hi, I'm Archbishop Matthew RAWCLIFFE. Please join me and some great guests as we take a journey where I will spread positive and enlightened messages to educate, heal, and help others as we chat about various subjects with the help of God. Tune in every second and fourth Thursdays at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Paranormal King Radio Network. Hey, how's everybody doing out there today? We got my co-host with me, Ron, as usual.
Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good.
Ron Stokes with S.P.I.R, Paranormal Research.
That's right, Stokes Paranormal Research.
And we're going to start out, as we always do, to say Michael prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and the other evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen.
Amen.
Well, how you doing, Ron? You been busy?
I have been very busy, man. Very busy. I've been getting so many phone calls since the start of November. It is so ridiculous how many things go wrong on Halloween, bro. It's so ridiculous.
No good vibes for Halloween.
No good vibes, man. I was looking for good vibes, and it did not happen, man. Oh, and I tell you, I've filled out a question for you or two, specifically because of all of that. It just gave me topics to throw out towards the public, and I'm glad that you pre-screened. So I'll do the Deusker Dudes.
And you got to pre-screen. Ron be asking questions he's not supposed to.
I do. I ask the questions that nobody's supposed to, man, and I can't help that. That's just how I've always been.
Trying to get me canceled. That's great.
He's always pre-screening, man. He's like, send me the stuff. Let me read it. Don't do that one. I am not going on there. I'll cut this thing off right now.
hey, I have to sometimes, though, man.
I get it, man.
I got a cancellation letter overnight.
I don't want to ask the wrong questions where you just like all of a sudden get in trouble, All right, so
go?
Hello. All right, so the first one was protections, rituals to help.
Not really so much. I wouldn't really call them rituals so much as holy water, holy salt, blessed salt. The same things we're always preaching.
There you go. There you go. All right. And the next one was warning signs of influences with occult items.
What do you mean warning signs?
Warning signs where people have had ordeals or buying occult items, bringing them to their home, and the
Don't do it.
influences that can start.
Don't do it.
Yeah, yeah,
The
exactly.
easiest way. Just don't do it.
Yeah, all right. So say somebody bought something
All right.
and it was given to them and they don't know any better. Say that it showed up from an antique store. Say that it showed up from a flea market. Who knows, man? People buy stuff all over the place.
And it's in a box covered in wax. Yeah, and they open
Yeah,
it.
yeah, with a little sigil marked out on the top, right? Okay, and so say that they end up opening up that wax seal and seeing what's inside and wanting to post it up on their little fireplace chimney mantles. Okay.
Bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what are influences that are warning signs
You mean
that you have
influences? Like you mean things that going
yes,
on that not? I
yes,
wouldn't really call
yes.
that influences.
Well, now the starts. I want the starts of everything that
That'd
can.
be like anything. It could be anything. As to like
Well,
smells in the house. It could be
uh-huh.
like knocks.
Okay.
Like if I like or people think they hear spirits trying to talk to them. Don't answer them back. Don't sit there and talk to them.
Uh-huh.
What's the
Uh-huh.
worst thing you can do?
And the door.
Yeah, the not 3 knocks on the door. Don't answer the door.
Okay. All
Especially,
right.
come on, everybody's got cameras these days. Look at your cameras. If there's nobody out there, don't open the door.
Yeah, so the statistics, all right. How many of those are just going to be angry ghosts
Don't
as
know.
opposed to
Don't know.
the knocks that are completely the D word?
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you look at it. Most of the time,
If there's a growl with it.
if it's coming in a box like, I mean, if it's coming in a box like that, you can pretty much know what it's probably gonna be. But I mean,
Right.
most of the time, it's not whatever they want to throw out and make everything demonic nowadays, and well, we all know it's not everything's demonic. Everybody they want to make you think it is, but it's not. Most of the times, it's a malevolent spirit.
Okay. So let's talk about the other items that people buy on a daily routine where they have no idea that it causes a damage.
Like what?
Well, like there's some bands out there that are utilizing very bad symbols, like say a satanic rosary gets handed to them, and they think that it's nothing but a band symbol that they're wearing around. And
There's there's happened. There's actually somebody no,
yeah,
this happened. It wasn't a bad thing. It was on eBay, I think it was, and they were selling them as regular rosaries. And you actually looked at them, they weren't. They were actually satanic rosaries. And
right.
people were selling them to other Catholics, and they were like,
it's a setup.
yeah, pretty much. They were saying they're saying they were something that they weren't.
Right, and that's why we want to put this information out in public, man. We want to give these people the warnings of knowing that there are some things that are happening out there that you need to be aware of.
Don't go buying occult objects and open it up and put them in your house.
Double check that the cross is actually facing the right direction there, right? Okay.
Make sure there's not stuff on it that shouldn't be.
Yeah. And what are those?
If it's somebody,
what are those types?
If it's a lot of people don't go to church today. I get that. But you can look up most of the stuff on there on the internet. What that's true, what it's really supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't look like all the other things you're looking up, you should probably get rid of it.
So what's one of those things that's a really big no towards you getting information right there on the spot looking at
King
it?
wants to God, do I turn down TV shows? Yes, I've turned down a bunch. I won't go on TV. I was waiting for King. I think he's never answered that. He's never asked me that before. It's the first time he's ever asked me that. But no, I do not. I will not go on TV. I just don't. I don't believe in it. I'm not going to put myself or my order out there like that. And a lot of the stuff we do shouldn't be on TV in the first place.
You got to stay humble and
Like
modest
our
with this
order,
job, man.
we don't do paranormal investigations. The order just doesn't. That's why I got Ron. That's what Ron and S.P.I.R does. They do not for publicity. I mean, I got publicity in our website. I mean, Ken and I both do. We do. Ken's been going out lately with Joe Frankie, and they've been doing lectures and stuff. And I do lectures from time to time.
Educationals, man.
Educationals.
Worthy.
So we get a lot of publicity through that.
That's definitely worthy, man.
Both
Doing
us,
like
both,
Paracon.
both of us having a radio show, that helps as well.
Right, yeah, and the Paracons are out there making sure that there's educationals involved. You know, these conferences have people showing up, guest star appearances, and all of that. And I know a lot of bishops end up hopping in with that and being able to travel and give a really good education in that value. That makes all the difference in a really good Paracon is actually. So, all right. Let's go for something here. Now, successful cases of investigations with the paranormal. Have you ever ran into a situation where somebody's going, "Hey, this is a little bit more than paranormal," and this client seems to be narcissistic, but there is some real stuff going on. We need to try to figure out how to help them, but this person is a narcissist, so we really got to figure everything out. It's really troublesome.
Really, that would fall more into the category of you guys, because the order in general, we don't do paranormal investigations, so I would be out of that to begin with.
Yeah,
it was like if I was going to
discernment,
do something with demonic or anything like that, and the person seemed to be like a hardcore narcissist, or that's where the psychologist comes in play. In order for me to even set foot in someone's house, they have to go get a checkup by a psychologist firsthand. So.
Well, now there's some really big discrepancies in that world. I've found out that regionally, different psychologists and psychiatric evaluators will say that a narcissistic person is either distributing a trait, or in some other places they say that it's a disorder. A lot of there's battling right now within the theoretical realms saying this is not a disorder, this is a trait, or this is a disorder.
Really, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both if you look at it.
Okay.
Because they're gonna show certain traits, but it's more of a disorder than a trait.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now let's see here. The Deusker do's and the Deusker don'ts, man.
Such a hippie. Ron's such a hippie.
All right. How do you handle when people or clients get channeled in an emergency situation?
What do you mean channeled?
If you were in a public area and you started seeing some signs from somebody, first things you do.
It all depends. I mean, Ken's done it. I mean, Ken and Joe Frankie, they took the guy off into somewhere private, and they actually performed spiritual deliverance on him right there.
Good.
You can ask Ken about that one. He actually talked about it on the last.
No, I remember.
Yeah, he talked about that.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. I remember that. Now, let's see here. Entity challenging. All right. There's warnings.
Ways to do it and ways not to do it, but I don't suggest anybody that's not a professional challenge anything.
No provoking.
I wouldn't provoke at all, because I mean, what you're gonna do, especially if a family has to live there, you're gonna provoke something and then leave it to that family to deal with. That's not cool.
That's right.
That's not.
That's right.
I mean, you're gonna get something all riled up, and then you're gonna, oh, I gotta go now, and then the family's gotta deal with it when they're living there.
What's the worst case that you've dealt with on that? where somebody was provoking and
I don't
something happened.
like I said again. I don't do paranormal investigations, so I've never dealt with that.
No, I'm just saying.
Because I don't allow people that are doing exorcisms with me to provoke.
Yeah.
Now,
So
as an exorcist,
there
if I
hasn't been any
I've
situation
provoked
so
as an
far.
exorcist, yeah, but that's different than doing a paranormal investigation, though, Ron. There's
Yeah.
ways that we do things as exorcists that you
Right.
wouldn't do in a paranormal investigation.
Exactly. Away from the paranormal investigating. You were on a situation where that happened.
Yeah, I've been with exorcists that have provoked before, but there's a way to do it, and there's we do things as exorcists that you wouldn't do in a paranormal investigations, like provoking and stuff like that. But it's not really so much a provoke as it's not really so much provoking. We're commanding it to do something in the name
Oh
of
yeah.
Jesus, in the name of Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's it's a little different. You can't really. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, it's totally different. The situation. You know what I mean? But
Right.
in like a paranormal investigation, I don't think anybody should provoke anything. You're just gonna make things worse for the family that they're already dealing with bad stuff. You're gonna make it worse.
Exactly.
You're gonna make it worse for them. So
Exactly.
why do that?
No burning Bibles, no talking crap.
Yeah, that's a
Like
bad idea.
like you're out on a school field ready to battle somebody. No acting like this is about to be a boxing match with Mike Tyson or nothing, right?
Yeah. I don't think anybody should provoke. I mean, think about it. You're gonna do this and leave the family to it, like I said before. I mean,
Well,
so
yeah.
you're gonna upset whatever entity it is. You're gonna make things worse, and then when you leave, what then?
Well, the worst of it is whenever that goes home with them, being the antagonist. They don't expect it, but it goes to their family, it goes to their friends, their loved ones. It
Yep,
ruins their
can.
life.
You
It
can do
stop
that.
it stops their loved ones from loving them. It causes fights that they didn't even know was about to happen. Blind rages just show up. Jobs get lost.
Possible. Yep, that could happen.
There's a lot of influence that goes in right after that, correct?
Well, yeah,
Attachments.
if attachments. Yeah, if something follows you home, I mean, it
Hmm.
could affect your life and your family's life. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now let's say psychosomatics are also a very
What do you mean,
real
like
thing.
psychosomatic? That's more
Psychos
like something that
psychosomatics,
happens.
yeah, like psychosomatical situations occur, and all of a sudden you're having to calm these people down, and they are thinking that things are a level 10. Say that there's a spotlight
That's like
in the
overthinking stuff,
clouds.
really.
Yeah, exactly. Say there's a spotlight in the clouds and somebody thinks it's a UFO, right? So, so,
Ron was just waiting to use that one.
oh God, it's been an hour. It has. It's been an hour. Okay. All right. So, all right. True story. All right. All right. So, there are differences between these priests going out now. Whenever they're going out for discernment, what are the differences whenever they're going in? How is this process started whenever they're going in?
What do you mean when we're going in on like a initial
Discernment.
investigation?
Yeah,
It's more
the
of a not
discernment
really
process.
discernment. That's the gift that we have as priests. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
really something that we go out and do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
That's
when it kicks off,
that's a gift. That's more like
well,
a gift, Ron. That's not something you go out and do.
yeah, when it
That's just
kicks
something
off,
that happens. Like you're
right,
talking about when we go out there and we're doing it. You like when I send our people out initially, they got a checklist they're going to go through with the people. You know what I
right,
mean? And
right.
before any of that, before I even go out there, I mean, you got to go have a checkup done, not only medically, but a psychologist too. So there's
That's
a
right.
lot of stuff that they have to do before I'll ever get in that building. So
That's right.
okay, Bishop, do you think the Vatican has a hospital for possessed people? I don't know if they do or not, but I know that Padre Pio had one out in the hills of Italy way back when. And I don't know if it's
There's,
still there or not, but I know Padre Pio would set something up like that.
I think
But
I know why King's asking.
as in the Vatican having one itself, I don't know. I can't answer that because I'm not with the Vatican. So, but
Yeah,
I don't think they do. I've never seen one, and
there's a
I've
movie.
been to the Vatican.
There's a movie that just came out.
Is there? Oh
Yeah,
God.
and I think that's why he's asking.
What movie is this now?
Oh God, it was
uh,
pray for the devil or something like that. I
what's
think it
that?
was.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, dude, you got to see the trailer, and it's totally entertainment, man.
I'm
It's
looking it up now.
entertainment. It's gonna it's gonna freak some people out. We're gonna get phone calls because of it. I promise you
Think
that.
about it, dude. Think about this though. Look in the '70s when The Exorcist first came out. People lost their minds.
Right. That's right. Yeah, causes all kinds of issues there.
Now, what was it called?
Um, pray
The
for the
movie.
devil,
Pray for the Devil.
something like that. I don't know, man. I don't even care about TV,
Ha!
dude.
That's it. It's a trailer. I found it. I'm looking at.
Okay,
I'm looking up
okay,
YouTube.
okay. All right. You know me though, man. I don't care about TV, man. I don't watch that. I barely hop on TV,
I'm
man.
watching it.
Oh God. Okay, so watch this. I want a exorcist reaction to this trailer right now. This is good.
The nuns aren't even wearing the right uniform for one.
Okay.
She's not as scary as she looks. She can hear you.
You're my favorite person here.
Us girls, we gotta stick together in this place.
That's definitely like nothing truthful. It's definitely gonna be like, yeah. I mean, it's entertainment. I mean, that's
That's
about it.
entertainment, man. That's entertainment. Now, a lot of
Terry
people have already
York is
gone
a
to
good
see it.
movie. I don't
A
go to the
lot of people have
movies.
gone to see it
I don't
already,
go to the movies.
but no spoilers, okay?
I'm
Maybe
not gonna.
Exorcist can end
It's
up telling you
yeah.
what
I'm not
happens
gonna.
just by instinct.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see that.
No spoilers here, guys.
Looks
We
like
don't
a
watch.
bunch of BS. I don't know. It's not anything that's gonna be like true or anything. It's entertainment, man. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just get. I mean, get down to it.
So douse yourself with holy water.
Of
You'll be
course,
okay.
Talia's gonna go see it. Sister Talia. Of course, she's gonna go see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
After
now,
Talia goes and sees it, we're gonna have to have her on and ask her about it.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna have her on the show pretty soon, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty soon.
For Thanksgiving episode or Christmas?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't.
Perfect. But we're just gonna leave the option on the table for it, right? Okay. All right. So some of the things that you have to have going into the seminary, divinity,
A master's degree.
theology.
You actually have to have a bachelor's in theology or divinity to even go in the seminary.
Okay. All right.
Yup.
That's good
Yes.
stuff right there. Working hard for it. Working hard for it. So, besides a Ouija board, what are the worst occult items that you've known to bring problems about?
Divot box.
The Dybbuk,
A real one. A real one, though, like an actual real one.
yeah, not the one in the museum of Begani's.
Now I'm talking about they had one that this guy. It was on a TV thing, but the guy actually. It was actually true though. The guy had ordered one for like his like antique store.
Uh huh.
And it ended up like messing up his like life, and he got sick, and it messed up his family. People got hurt, and like his people that worked for him in the antique store got hurt, and
I think
like
I saw that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they actually like demanded he took it out of the building, and
like his mom got sick and passed away right after that, right?
yep.
Yeah, I saw that one. That poor guy, man. He had to figure something out.
I think he ended up burying it.
Yeah, and then he unburied it and gave it to Zach Baggins.
Oh, I
It's
don't
in
know.
his place now.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He gave it to her for her birthday, and he didn't know better. And whenever she ended up getting it, she got sick and passed away.
Oh, that's sad.
It was very sad. That's a very
Yeah, so
sad
people,
story.
like things like
That guy
that,
got
people
affected
don't-
too, man. Now, one thing that was really rude, and I don't usually say this, but all right, Baggins was kind of rude about this, putting the guy in a room with it in his museum after the guy had already given it to him. He had asked this guy to walk into the room and be around that box after he'd
That's
already
not
given it
cool.
to him. And,
That's not
and
cool.
so this was his choice. This was his choice.
Oh, well, the guy's choice.
I
He's
don't
not
know
very
if he was
smart,
off. I don't know if he was offered money for it
probably.
or anything like protection or any of that.
I hope he was offered protections at least. I mean,
Well,
you'd hope so at least.
there's only a few people that really work with him from the clergy department.
I don't
There's
know. I don't really know who he is, so
um
I
yeah,
don't pay attention to the TV people, so
yeah, and dolls.
beats me.
Dolls are vessels as well
Yeah,
sometimes.
I don't like them.
It's not so much a vessel as just an attachment from what I can understand from
Well,
that.
technically would be a vessel because it's using the doll. The spirit's using the doll to like, you know what I mean? It's working through the doll,
Yeah.
so that kind of would be like the doll is a vessel technically.
So basically like a Ouija board, don't burn it.
Yeah. Never burn anything. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Don't burn it. Because if you're
Okay.
gonna burn it, you're releasing whatever's in it or whatever
Yeah.
is attached to it. Once you burn it, it's no longer attached to it, is it?
Good info, guys. Good info. I hope y'all are listening out there.
I don't believe you should ever burn anything. That's not very smart.
Yeah. I hope y'all are listening.
I never burn anything. I'll tell you that much. I won't burn anything. I'll bury it before I burn it. Yeah, that's a bad idea to burn stuff.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that would rather bury it or give it to somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are just like, where's the nearest place that takes these things in?
There's not a whole lot of people that take them in though, but you got to watch who you're giving it to too. I mean, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah,
that's what I would want to know.
That is the question, isn't it?
Talia has a haunted object graveyard.
She does.
That's where you give it to. You give it to Sister Talia, and she'll bury it.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the sticks of Georgia.
That's right.
Out in Redneckville.
That's right. At the crossroads.
That would not be a good idea either.
All right. So, what intents of people's behavior have caused the most problems?
What do you mean?
Well, besides provoking.
What do you mean? Like
being in a spot where there's a real deal.
What do you mean, like by people? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand.
Like their behavior besides provoking.
Like, what specifically are you asking about behavior? I mean, that's kind of vague.
Well, it is. It is just wanting to get some.
I mean, have your wits about you. Don't act like an idiot. I mean, don't do dumb stuff.
Okay.
Be respectful. That's one.
Yeah. So don't disrespect. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, you should be respectful about anything. You should be respectful to anything. I mean, no matter what it is, you should be respectful.
Yeah.
You think about it, Ron. How mad do you get when people disrespect you?
Yeah.
So you think a spirit's not going to get mad if you disrespect it?
Oh yeah, a spirit or a ghost for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
When you know that you're in a real demonic
I wouldn't even
atmosphere.
There's a lot of people you can go around things like that shouldn't be there in the first place.
Like
if you're if you haven't been doing this for a long time and you don't really know what you're doing, you should not be involved yourself in stuff like that.
Right. Like we've got roads that are down the street from me about 25 minutes away, where there was a church that was used for satanic rituals, after it
That's
got
not
abandoned.
good.
And other people that walked in later on had some very damaging problems right after that. They brought stuff home with them just for being in that area.
That's not good.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking questions like
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't even
We got to
say,
help
like,
these
go
people
to
out, give them the right.
like, if you don't have any, like, if you don't have any, like, the word I'm looking for, if you're not, like, experienced in things of that nature, I wouldn't even. I would say don't even go there.
So back to the dolls type situation. Have you ever binded a haunted item like how
No,
Annabelle has been?
no, I never have personally, but I
No.
know other priests that have.
Yeah. Well, we
I've
have
buried a few.
one on the crew. We have one on the crew
I've
right
buried
now.
a few.
One of our crew that's actually in Myrtle Beach right now is always on a constant watch with one because it's been passed down generation to generation with the family.
Who's in Myrtle Beach that I don't know?
His name is Patrick. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Patrick. I
He
forget.
does.
I forget Patrick's with the spur.
He forgets a lot of them actually. I mean, like he never gets the chance to talk to any of the crew anymore. He's always out and about
He's
and
always
doing
working.
his thing. Yeah, he is.
Patrick's
He's
always at work. Yeah, he's a good guy
and
though.
and he's got
He's been at my house a few times. He's a nice guy.
yeah, and he's got a baby too. So
Yeah.
he's taking care of the little one,
Oh yeah.
raising him right.
And
But
he's always working
he's
too. He works, I think, at the car dealership in Myrtle Beach.
yeah, but he's been having to watch over one, and
Yeah, the one he got from
and
his mother,
keep
right?
yeah, and it's been passed down generation to generation, and
Yeah,
so
generational stuff. You got to be careful.
exactly it caused problems for I think it was his grandmother
That's
whenever
not-
she was a kid, and then passed it down to the mom who had problems when she was a kid. And he got to it and was like, well, I'm already learning. I'm already learning.
That's wild, though. You know, you would think if somebody in your family had something that did something to him, you think they wouldn't pass it down to you.
Yeah, that's a smart guy too, man. He's
Yeah, he is. Smart
he's
kid.
he's a Navy guy. I think he's a Navy guy.
I don't know.
Yeah. And speaking of, Happy Veterans Day, a little early, but
Thank you.
I want to tell everybody out
Technically,
there.
today is my
Veterans
birthday.
Day.
Today's Marine Corps birthday.
That's right.
My second birthday.
Yeehaw.
Today is the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah,
November 11th.
that's right. It's a little early, but we're just going to go ahead.
Today is the Marine Corps birthday.
It's the 10th.
No, it's the 11th.
Well, that's tomorrow.
Well, no, actually, no, sorry, it is the 10th, November 10th. It is November 10th. No, sorry, I was looking at the damn.
Yeah.
I was looking at the date wrong, and I thought that was the date, and it's actually the month I'm looking at on the computer screen.
We got to get your Google Calendar working, buddy.
it goes year, month, day. It does it military style. It does it all backwards.
Yeah. Okay.
I got military time on my computer too.
All right. So
November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday because the Marine Corps was born in a bar, believe it or not. Ton Tavern. November 10th, 1775.
rock on.
Yeah, they make you learn that stuff.
That's cool. Right on, man. Okay, so here's some other issues that have popped up, and I'm hoping that these people are listening right now because it'll help them out tremendously. All right, they've had some issues where they called up and asked questions. They had black water spots. They had black water spots showing up around the house. There was no normal situations. They had called up plumbers. They had called up everybody under the sun to take a look at this issue and say, why are we getting?
It's not like mold or nothing or anything from like
no
AC units, AC ducts.
No, nothing around. Nothing around. It's the black water that'll end up showing up in certain situations.
Mm.
And I think Mr. Frankie has those answers.
I believe he does. We'll let them back on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is something to do with an elemental. I think he said that it has something to do with elementals out there.
What is the story behind the Mexican holiday? Do you lust more? I don't know, King. We'll have to ask Ken that one. I'm not sure about that one. I'll get you the answer. We'll have the answer by next time we have a show. The next show we have, I'll have an answer for that. But I do not have an answer as of right now because I don't know. That's a new one on me.
Yeah,
Holiday. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that has something to do with a ritual for just basically saying their to their loved ones that have passed away. I think it's something that they do for their loved ones that have passed. I don't think it has anything
I don't know.
demonic.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just basically to praise the people that have passed.
The Day of the Dead is a celebration of life and death.
Mm.
So, I mean, there really wouldn't be anything demonic. It would be the celebration of life and death, is what it says. So, Ken would be a better one for that. Ken would know.
Many criminal cults take advantage of it.
Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Father Ken about that one, see if he knows. Even though he's not Mexican, but he might know.
Yeah.
Why not? Father Christian, Archbishop Christian. We can ask him. He's from South America.
There you go.
He might know.
Mm-hmm.
We will have the answer by the time we have the next show for you, King.
Yeah.
He's just pulling out stuff now. He's gonna start looking stuff up that I don't know. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it is more just to remember the loved ones that passed.
It's a celebration of life and death.
Yeah. Right. Right. I know many friends that have celebrated it for years.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, they did the damn thing too, man. They were painting their faces up, and they rocked it out. You know, it was a big time drunk celebration too. Now they were getting down on the get down. Right there.
How Ron explains things kills me sometimes.
They were barely crawling back into their door. You know
how Ron explains things.
They were laid out on the yard.
Fall down. I almost fell out of my chair.
That's right. That's right. Getting down on the get down, man.
That's a nice way to say they were drunk.
It is, right? It is. It's party time. It's party time.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, what am I gonna do with you?
I'm pretty sure it does have some evil aspects to it, but
who knows?
You know, a lot of people think that that Krampus takes over Christmas as well. So,
hey, the kids these days might need that though.
Well, yeah, but you know, go to the corner would probably have a different meaning just in all that.
True.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of food involved, and there's a lot of fiesta party time. I've seen some Mexican bands rocking out. You know, they'll end up setting up a full band for that day and rocking that one out. And they do these little street parties too. They gather in the streets for it. Rock that out.
Right on.
Yeah.
See, Ron figures it all out.
So now we were talking about something before, and all right, this is a touchy subject here, man. Now we've gotten some calls from people, and they had issues in the past where they were users of some really hardcore stuff, and they had already gotten way past a point of no return where they were visually seeing things, writings on the wall, writings on themselves, and there's really bad stuff that starts happening to them, but that's more of a psychosomatic thing. and people getting freaked out real easily. You know, that's all psychosomatics.
Yeah, yes and
Uh,
no.
yeah.
But
So
if they're on some like hardcore hallucinogen drugs and stuff like that, well, of course they're going to be seeing stuff.
right, right.
That
Now,
would be why
now
you got to
there's
get off all that first.
exactly now there's been experiments out there where people were sitting, even the red room experiment, prime
What's
example.
that?
All right, that was actually German. The design was from Hitler's people, putting
Go figure.
putting their soldiers in a red room, blindfolded with headphones on, and listening to white noise. And they basically wanted to create a deprivation of senses and see whether or not people had any extra power whenever they did that.
Hmm.
And it caused some of these people a great deal of problems after that because they did it too long
Yeah.
and got channeled. There was a few of them that got channeled, and that's what actually made that experiment famous. It wasn't the experiment itself, it was the problems that came from it afterward that got out in public later on. But that was a few people in there ended up supposedly having channeling issues from entities because they were in that deprivation too long. And today, they call most of that kind of situation in the paranormal field the Estes method, where you would put on a blindfold listening to headphones with SB7 radio sweeper.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah, and that's basically just same scenario, really. The same scenario, only a little bit safer in some aspects. And you're really not supposed to do more than 15 minutes. You're supposed to make sure that somebody
That's
gets pulled
wild.
out of it and all of that. But
Mm.
there's been people that got channeled through that as well. And so some of these methods have caused problems, and I've gotten phone calls because of it. They had attachments afterwards brought home with them from doing investigations because they did this for too long.
Well, why are they doing that in investigation to begin with?
They were young. A lot of this is a learn as you go experience, and you got to have the right teachers.
You
Which
have
is
never taught
this.
anybody ever to do that, have you?
No,
No, exactly. That was my point. Exactly. Just
no,
saying.
no. Now I have had a few people that hopped on that were basically learning as we were doing this experience. And they hopped in and we were able to watch over them pretty safely, and we got them out of it pretty quickly because of who they were. We watched over them, made sure they were okay. It was very successful too, but you got to be very careful where you're at, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. So methods like that, you got to be very,
That's
very
wild.
cautious, man. Very, very cautious. And that's called the Estes method.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I
Now,
don't believe anybody that's inexperienced should do anything like that anyway.
right, right, right. But a lot of these problems are showing up because nobody is getting the proper training. That's where you run into the issue where people are a learn as you go experience, hopping in, doing
Well,
things
that's
they've never done before, trying
maybe. Well,
to
that's
go
why.
up in
That's
the
what I
field.
say. If they're gonna go ahead and do this, well, you gotta seek out and find an actual group. Maybe not every group's good, but find a group that's actually gonna teach and do things the right way,
Exactly. That's all. That's
and
what it's all.
not just throw people to the wolves per se. You know.
Exactly. That's why I was saying that is because the Red Room experience was very dangerous for back to the battlefield because of it. They were so messed up in the head that they just couldn't keep it going. Um, and then here today, if people are doing it wrong, they don't know better. That Estes method can cause some madness as well.
Yeah. That's a bad
Now,
idea all around.
let's talk about portals for a minute. All right.
Portals.
Now, yeah. So, have you ever walked into a situation where you found portals?
Mirrors or portals, technically.
Yeah.
Technically, any mirror can be a portal. Portal, as you say. Can't talk today.
Right. So, one of the biggest problems with that is a mirror facing a mirror is
Yeah,
supposed
it's a
to be one
bad
of
idea.
the worst. That's one of the worst, right?
From
But
what I
no,
heard, yeah.
but nobody knows that. I see old ladies in their homes doing it all the time. They have no idea what they're doing, but yet they're getting live activity and they're calling up asking questions. Why am I getting this activity? You show up, you see mirrors facing mirrors like 4 different directions facing each other, and you're like, oh, well, we need to change this around first off.
No, I've heard people having like old school mirrors and having issues with them. I've actually seen them to where they actually painted the mirror with black paint
Yeah.
to seal it.
Right. Now, the most haunted places in South Carolina, there is over 50 different known hauntings in South Carolina. Like right down the road from Archbishop, there is a fine
Uh-oh.
there
Oh,
there
that restaurant. Yeah.
yes, there's a fine dining French cuisine restaurant that you can go to. It's been featured on A&E and several other different channels.
They just want your money.
Yeah.
They probably just want your money.
It's called
Just
the
saying.
Brentwood. It's called the Brentwood.
See, that's what kills me about all these places. Is they got activity, and then all of a sudden, they want everybody to go, come here and pay us to come see it.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Well, they at first they were freaked out and they didn't want anybody doing it. It took them a while to even get used to it before they were.
well,
even
yeah. When they figured out they could make good money doing it, then then all of a sudden they didn't have an issue.
Well, it took them a long time to even get used to it. Period. They've
Yeah,
got
so when they figured out how much money they could make.
They've got shadow figures showing up in the middle of their bar, hanging out with their patrons, drinking like 12 o'clock at night, before the place closes.
That's pretty
And
creepy.
and they've got cooks getting freaked out trying to send food out with a dumbwaiter that moves on voice command. He found that out, and he's a little bit cooler with it now. Hey, can you take the dumbwaiter up for me? He doesn't even have to hit the button. He just puts the food in there, and it's going for him. He's like,
That's
"Yay,
creepy.
yay, remote control, yay!"
Yeah, that's creepy.
Now in Colombia, we have several different known hauntings, like a very, very strong place that's actually being renovated right now and scaring every single construction worker there is probably. It's the hospital named Bull Street.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's out there. It was actually same person that was an architect took care of reestablishing the West Virginia State Penitentiary, the Charleston City Jail. It was that same guy. And he's a very, very awesome architect, man. This guy was doing like Gothic castle style.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, Charleston City Jail was actually reconstructed from him and his build after the huge earthquake, knocking down I think it was 5 stories at first, and then knocked down 2 stories, and he had to fix it.
Wow.
But he just said, "Screw it. We're just only going to do like a 4th high rise, and that's about it. That's all you'll get." He was like,
I don't blame him.
No more 5th story.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't either.
So the Charleston City Jail is very haunted by one of the number 1
Yeah, I didn't know that.
serial killers in South Carolina, Lavinia Fisher. Now there is some stipulations. I got some inside information about Lavinia Fisher. Apparently there was a divorce present, but it's not all up in the the main story for people to know. But she was divorced before she got busted running a brothel with her ex-husband.
What?
And
They're running a
kidnapping
brothel?
people.
What?
They were running brothels.
Where at?
Okay, it was in Charleston. They were running
There's one in
brothels.
Georgetown that was
And
famous.
all right, and so basically they got busted because they were kidnapping rich dudes. They were getting them roofied out with like some liquid cocaine or something
Wow.
like that.
That's
And
creepy.
these people were waking up and they were in a whole bunch of different traps that they had set up
What?
in their place. And this
That's
one guy
creepy.
broke free, and he took off and he ran like hell, and he got the police involved and they got locked up. And I don't know how many murders they went down for. I can't remember now because
Wow.
it's been like almost it's been probably about maybe a year and a half for me since I've been out there. But the information is going to be a little scattered. I'm not able to talk about all of it without having that information like right in front of me. But
Yeah.
but the Charleston City Jail is supposedly haunted by Lavinia Fisher. If she likes a dude that's walking through there,
Yeah.
she will actually scratch him, but in a good way. Like if
All right. Scratched in a
if
good
she
way.
likes yeah, if she likes you, she'll give you
Yeah.
some love taps. It's the
Oh.
love tap scratches.
Yeah.
It's not the ones that scrape, peel, or any of that. It's just the love taps. And
Love tap. Love tap. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So I was using an SLS after I hopped in her cell, and the SLS showed that she was hanging out above me, and she was hanging out. I got her to wave to
She
me.
liked Ron.
She did. She did, dude. She gave me a love tap. She did. She gave me a love tap. And there's also photos in that city jail from the tour guide, Miss Joyce. She was really good. She was one of the best tour guides there was that I've even been able to know going to any of these places. And basically, she had all of the years of experience being a tour guide. People would send her all of the photos, all of the
What?
EVP sessions from doing all of these
Oh, that's cool.
tours up in there, and she had photos of like probably I think it was like about 15 to 20 different shadow people in one room. Whenever somebody turned around, took a photo of an
Wow.
empty room, they just felt the presence of stuff, so they turned around, they took a photo. And these are some old rusty crusty walls too, man. I mean, a couple 100 years old. There's rust all over these metal walls, and there's scratch marks where people ruined their fingernails. No more fingernails
Oh, I
because
bet.
kicking in. And there was a lot of lice cases up in there, so people were dying horrible deaths. But at the same time, before that, they were getting ate up.
That's creepy.
But yeah, so that's just a couple to name off the top. There's a lot more in Columbia, but I think one of the best otherwise that's right beside the Charleston City Jail is the USS Yorktown. Now, because it's almost Veterans Day, I wanted to bring that up. All right, the USS Yorktown is a really, really awesome ship, man. It was in three different wars, man. And
Christina talking about her son sneaking in buildings. That's one thing I'm against. People need to
yeah,
stop sneaking in buildings. It gives us all a bad, like what do you? I'm losing my words there, Ron. It gives us all a bad reputation. Like other people sneaking in makes everybody else look bad.
well,
So make
yeah,
sure before y'all go in any places, make sure you're not sneaking in. Make sure you're going and actually talking to the owners and get permission to go on property and stuff.
yeah. There's a difference between ghost hunting and paranormal investigating for sure, man.
True.
And
True.
and what these kids are doing, going and showing up over at these places. They want to be learning
arrested.
about the history of these places. They want to see them for themselves. They'll take photos of them and they'll post them up all over the place and get some really good photos. But yeah, they have to be making sure that they get permission. So if anybody's wanting permission, you just walking up and talking to the people that are running the place. They're there now. They never used to be there before, though. That was somebody that owned that property out of town. And there
Yeah.
is a little bit of a rumor where they had some involvement to getting that place kick-started into being some apartments and some townhomes and stuff like that. But that's just a stipulation. That's little rumors right there. That's just running around. That somebody broke in and burned the church area, the
What?
chapel of that, and the dome. The dome ended up getting it. It was a beautiful place. I only went in there once whenever I was a kid. But I mean, there's a lot of kids that are going around doing that. Their first days of going out and exploring. It's some people call it urbexing. You know, they're going around doing that. That's what the youngins are calling it nowadays. They're going around
Urbexing.
urbexing. Yeah, that's what the youngins are calling it.
Oh, I feel old.
Urbex exploring. You know, it does. It makes me feel old when I hear that word.
Yeah, and then they do it and they get arrested and they say, well, I don't know why I got arrested.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to be careful. You got to be real careful, man. And that's just all part of growing up too. Whenever you're wanting to go out and explore like that, man, try to find the people that own it. Talk to them and say, "Hey, look, I would love to
A
get
lot
some
of times they'll
photos."
let you in. You'd be surprised.
Exactly, exactly. A lot of them are very cool people, and you might get an opportunity to go even further than just getting some photos. You know, they'll be like, "Hey, you want to stay here for a night? It's on you." If you know. Yeah, it's kind of like working for a roofer for the first time. You know, hey, you're fired before you hit the ground, buddy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. uh,
Ron got fired.
do you agree with Satan worshipers being protected by the First Amendment? That's what King wants to know.
um, do I agree with what they do? No, but will I go against their right to do it? No, because I mean, if they did the same thing to Catholics back in the day. So I mean, I don't agree with what they stand for and what they do, but I mean, I'm not gonna go against their right to do it. That's on them. I'll
Free
pray for
will.
them. I'll pray for them, but I mean, I'm not. That's their right to do it. I mean,
That's the proper
as long as
response.
they're not forcing it on anybody, you know, that's pretty much where you got to go with that. Like I don't
Yeah,
force my religion on anybody. Hence, I wouldn't want anyone else's religion forced upon me.
there you go, man. There you go. All right, so the SOSMAUSA.com is the website to go to for
Yep.
the Solomonic Order of St. Michael's Archangels International, and as well as USA. You can contact this group and be able to have everybody helping out and taking care of all the needs.
It's actually a
It,
really nice website too. I mean, we got to thank
it
Father Ken
is.
for that. Father Ken did an awesome job with that one. So
Yeah,
Archbishop Ken Torres, he did an awesome job with the website. He really did.
that's right. He's cooking with grace. That's right.
That makes me laugh every time you say that. Cooking with grace.
High fives and good vibes, man. High fives and good vibes, you know. Also, Spur dot headquarters. If you wanted to go and check us out, man, Spur dot headquarters at Spur dot headquarters. And you can also contact for paranormal investigation, Spur headquarters 803 at gmail.com. And that's almost it for the show, guys.
Yep,
This was a
and
great hour. This was a great.
always, as always, I'm on end the show like I always do with the prayer to Saint Michael. As always, Son, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and the other evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking to ruin souls. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you
Thank you,
being able to
y'all.
be a part of all
Everyone be
this.
safe out there. And,
That's
if you ever
right.
need anything, contact the order or contact Spur, and we'll do the best we can to help you.
Yeah, man. So, everybody, Stokes gives y'all love, man. And y'all stay safe, stay smart, stay vigilant, and holler at us if you need us, man. We're always here for you. Just let us know. We'll be here for you, all right? Yeah, man.
Right on.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, brothers. I'll talk to you.
Hi, I'm Archbishop Matthew RAWCLIFFE. Please join me and some great guests as we take a journey where I will spread positive and enlightened messages to educate, heal, and help others as we chat about various subjects with the help of God. Tune in every second and fourth Thursdays at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Paranormal King Radio Network.